guys, welcome back to another video. We have some huge information here when it comes to Microsoft and Xbox and acquisitions. As we know, they are on the acquisition hunt right now, or they have been with the purchase of Bethesda and the purchase of Activision Blizzard. We're in a time where these big companies now are looking to get as much content into their ecosystem as possible, because the future of gaming is going to be subscription, it's going to be cloud, and it's going to be the ecosystem. And now we have some information here that is extremely interesting, specifically when it comes to SEGA, as that has been something I think people have always said would be a great fit for Xbox, would be the acquisition of SEGA. And it looks like they were actually trying to acquire SEGA. This is an article here from The Verge, and it says Microsoft considered acquiring Bungie and SEGA to bolster Xbox Game Pass. An internal email shows it was a confidential internal Microsoft document revealing these acquisition aspirations. Now, this is Phil Spencer writing to Satya Nadella saying, "We believe that SEGA has built a well-balanced portfolio of games across segments with global geographic appeal and will help us accelerate Xbox Game Pass both on and off console." And he continues on here and says this to Nadella in terms of it being good for the expansion out globally, especially in places like Japan, saying the global appeal of Sega's beloved IP will help expand Xbox Game Pass's reach to new audiences around the world, most notably in Asia, where localized content is critical to success. And there's an entire email here. They also talk about the Sega Sammy business and the revenues and stuff like that, and just how it's going to help accelerate the Xbox Game Pass growth and be able to continue to add more to the service to provide more value. And this was a letter looking for permission essentially to go ahead and start those talks for the acquisition with SEGA. Now, we don't know if this has gone anywhere or if it's just completely dead in the water at this point. Clearly, this was an email that was back in 2020, November 10th, 2020. We are now in 2023, and lots has happened since then with the Bethesda stuff and the Activision Blizzard stuff, that maybe that is their move that they made over everything else that they were thinking about doing. Because if we do go down here, there is also the merger and acquisition final watch list for Xbox Game Studios, and they have Thunderful Games, Supergiant Games, Niantic, Playrix, Zynga, which we heard in court last week that they were looking to purchase Zynga before Take-Two bought them up. The reason for Zynga would be to get further into the mobile space, which is essentially the reason they say they are purchasing Activision Blizzard. Zynga would have been a great fit for that too, but that's off of the list now. And then they were also looking at purchasing Bungie, which would be, I would have thought, a great fit for Xbox in terms of the previous relationship with the Halo franchise, as well as Bungie being games as a service and Xbox and Microsoft doing games as a service very well. I also thought when PlayStation purchased Bungie, it was a very smart move for them, because they are lacking very much on games as a service, and Bungie will help them there. But that was a company that obviously they were talking to or wanting to talk to as well before PlayStation jumped in. Then there's IO Interactive they were looking at, where people were saying that would also be a great move. And from the rumors, they are working on a game with IO Interactive with Xbox Game Publishing. So maybe they're looking to see how that game overall works out before they go into further talks with IO. But IO makes great stuff, especially with the Hitman series. And then the other one they're looking at here is Scopely. So they are still looking for acquisitions. At least it sounds like from this email, at least even though it was said back in 2020, but I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox is still on the hunt and they continue to try to do more stuff with acquisitions going forward, even if they are smaller ones. When it comes to Sega specifically, though, it just makes a ton of sense. You look at the relationship between Xbox and Sega over the years, they've always had a great relationship. And in terms of expansion into Japan, we are seeing them do better this generation than last generation, and we are finally seeing more stuff come onto the Xbox ecosystem aside from Square Enix games. But like the fact that Persona games are coming onto Xbox Game Pass and coming onto the platform for the first time is huge. The fact that new Persona games, Persona 3 Remake and Tactics, or Persona 5 Tactics, whatever it's called, coming into Game Pass day one. That's a massive get that you will see growth in Japan because of these games. And the Yakuza games coming to Game Pass, showing off a new Yakuza game at the Xbox Game Showcase. All of these things signal a great relationship with SEGA as one of their main companies that they like to deal with in the Japanese market that will help Xbox going forward. You think about also Capcom. Now, I don't think Capcom is up for sale, but you get a game like Exoprimal into the Game Pass service. Obviously, they are trying to bolster that relationship as well. So very interesting. And at the end of the day, I mean, we saw all of these rumors about Sega. Everyone was taking those with a massive grain of salt because there was really no proof that that was actually something that was occurring. And it looks like that all of those rumors about the potential acquisition of Sega by Xbox, Microsoft were actually true based off of this internal document, or at least talks were going to happen that they would potentially be acquired. And the next question, I guess, that needs to be answered here or asked is Sega truly up for acquisition at this point? Are they preparing themselves in the future to be acquired, or were these talks just going to be like a shot in the dark looking to see if there was anything there that was possible? My hunch is that Microsoft kind of knows which companies are potentially open for acquisition. I mean, you do look at this list that they have on their mergers and acquisition watch list. Zynga, Bungie, 2 companies that were purchased. Those are big companies as well. So they probably have an idea as to what companies are looking and what companies will have no interest in ever being acquired. But I will leave the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
We'll be right back.